The internet has been around for over 40 years now, and we're well into the age of information. So why does it feel like now is harder than ever to learn anything? Every single person watching this video right now, including you, has access to all of the information in the world at your fingertips. And yet, so few actually take the initiative to learn and use all of these thousands of years of human innovation and creativity to their advantage. Nearly every human in the world has essentially been given the opportunity to create and discover anything that they could ever desire. Things that would have previously taken years for somebody to even gather the resources needed to understand, and they take that opportunity and make Instagram reels and archives of famous feat. We're living in the epitome of the technological era of the world. You could go onto Google, search for a plane ticket halfway across the earth, book them, then sit down on your couch to watch YouTube on your smart TV whilst checking the latest news and managing your finances while Subway Surfers plays in the background. Epistemology is the philosophy of exploration and the study of knowledge, which has been around for centuries, all the way back to ancient philosophers like Plato. The main question that epistemology asks is, what is knowledge? What do we define knowledge to be? The idea here is that knowledge is not a tangible object that can be seen, felt, or experienced physically, leading to further questions. But we could go down that rabbit hole forever. Epistemology questions whether there's knowledge that's considered valuable or not, and if so, what knowledge is or isn't valuable. The internet makes it easier than ever to just search up whatever you want to know at any given time. At face value, this is an extremely useful and powerful tool to gather information and understanding new topics. However, this is also one of the core reasons that it's so hard to learn anything now. With great invention comes monetization. Who would have thought? Money makes stuff more complicated. Today, all of us are completely overwhelmed by thousands upon thousands of pieces of junk floating around the internet. We have hundreds of pieces of news being spread like wildfires on group chats, constant wars for attention on every social media platform, and short-form content literally changing the chemistry of our brains to be unable to focus on anything for longer than a 30-second TikTok video. We consume more information in one day than would have been possible a century ago within multiple years, and yet we're still expected to be able to focus on studying or learning a whole new skill. Epistemology questions how far the human brain can go. What are the true limits? Many people compare our brains to a computer-like system, though it's more like a jumbled mess of biological evolution that's just meant to be good enough to survive, but not quite ready for resisting the urge to check your social media notifications every 5 minutes. We evolved to care about making sure we were safe from a stray lion or woolly mammoth, but today our biggest problem is all that information we're constantly getting is just not needed. It's excess, irrelevant to your actual life. Trying to keep up to date with literally everything in the world is just not possible. Epistemology reminds us that, at the end of the day, knowledge isn't just about mindlessly absorbing information, but gaining an understanding of what is and isn't worth knowing. And in the world today, finding that just might be the hardest task there is. Around the 20th century, there were these two guys, Jean Piaget and Lev Vygotsky. These guys are generally known as the forefathers of constructivism. Constructivism basically says that in order to learn new information, you can't just imagine the ideas conceptually, but you need to connect them to past experiences and real-world interactions. This ideology builds on the idea that in order to really understand something well, you need to attempt to experience it yourself. That's why when you had to learn basic maths as a kid, you'd be asked something like, if we have 3 apples and then add 2 apples, how many apples do we have? And is the foundation for most applied mathematics and sciences in the real world. Just like the ancient Egyptians learned how to conquer many mathematical and architectural challenges while building the pyramids out of huge bricks, children are now able to learn the same concepts through toys like Lego. Also, Lego involves a lot less death and physical toll. So this whole constructivism theory is cool and all, but how can it help answer the real question here? Why does learning feel so hard now? Well, the internet is a great place for reading up on information and research on various topics. However, it can't help you physically. Everything on the internet is digital, a 2-dimensional view of our very 3-dimensional world. Think about it. Reading about how to ride a bike isn't the same as actually getting on one and figuring out how to balance. You can watch all the tutorials in the world, but until you actually start pedaling, you won't feel how to do it. Our brains evolved to learn by actually doing, physically interacting with the world around us, just like how kids learn with Lego or ancient Egyptian builders mastered engineering through trial and error. But today, since so much of our learning happens on and through screens, including the video you're watching right now, it's truly hard to grasp new ideas in that same way. So if learning feels harder now, it's not just in your head, it's in your hands. Or rather, it's not. The challenge isn't just about taking in new knowledge, but figuring out how to apply it in a way that actually sticks. But before you're even able to start that process, you still have to choose where you're going to begin. Imagine this. It's Friday night. You've just gotten home from a long day of work, school, or whatever it is you do. You make some dinner for yourself, sit down on your couch, open Netflix. You tell yourself you'll just pick something quick. 5 minutes in, you're watching trailers. 10 minutes in, you're googling best Netflix shows 2025. And 15 minutes in, you've somehow ended up reading a Reddit argument about whether Breaking Bad or The Sopranos is better. And at the end of all that, your food's gone cold and you just start rewatching The Office. That's the paradox of choice. Barry Schwartz explored the same concept in his book, The Paradox of Choice, published in 2004. In theory, giving someone more options should make their choice easier, but in reality, it makes it harder, as they fear picking the wrong choice. For this reason, using the internet to learn something new is not so simple as, what is it I want to know? It's, which of the 50 million options in front of me should I use to learn it? Another factor around these near infinite choices is that you have decision fatigue. If you've ever spent hours looking to buy something online, wasted loads of time watching reviews and reading up about different products, and then never even ended up purchasing anything, that's exactly what's happening. Your brain gets so overloaded that it just shuts down. As an example, I tried to improve my very limited coding skills recently. So I went to YouTube, searched up Python tutorials, and suddenly there's 1,000 different videos titled Learn Python in 3 hours. And after opening like 3 of them in new tabs to figure out which I should follow, I'm already thinking, yeah, maybe I'm just not cut out for coding. And then I just asked ChatGPT to code a program that wipes all my available tax records. Learning works in the exact same way. When you're presented with thousands upon thousands of options for different methods, ideas, and concepts to learn for a new topic, your brain becomes overloaded, leading to you just giving up or making bad decisions. The only way that you can learn anything online today isn't to have a bunch of options, but to commit to just one. Learning a new concept or skill doesn't require opening up 10 tabs and 3 YouTube videos on the side. All you need to do is pick one and actually start.